It is time for Howard Stern to take a permanent vacation. I'm going to read this post on Reddit, although I've been saying this for a while now. Howard Stern should just give it up. Before he signed a new contract, I was of hopes that he would maybe go back to terrestrial radio. That way, with ratings involved, he would have to actually try. But he's decided to stay on the radio, and if he signs it, I can't imagine him signing another contract. But why wouldn't he if they offer him money? So this person puts time for a permanent vacation. I've been a Stern Show fan since high school in the 90s, but it dawned on me this week with this recent slew of 2 week breaks that I don't miss the show when it's off anymore. My commutes have been more enjoyable listening to serious music stations. I mean, what are we missing anymore? Like, you can just pop on YouTube, plug it into your dash, and just listen to a great old Stern bit or something. God knows you can't listen to the new show. Does anyone really miss hour-long recaps of The Bachelor? I guess that show's still on. Does anyone really miss Robin phoning in the news segment by reading articles for the first time on air that some intern put together for her, usually getting facts most people know wrong? Does anyone really miss lame-ass staged prank calls with stupid characters like Rocky Pendergast calling into the Kathy show? Ew. I mean, the only new bit I sort of like that Stern does, and I think it's like a Shuli bit, isn't it? When they do the like cardboard cutout of Alex Jones, but that's about it. Does anyone really miss Howard's agent impression? Does anyone really miss riveting interviews with narcissistic idiot millennials like Bella Thorne or recycled guests like Chelsea Handler and Alec Baldwin? Remember when Chelsea Handler used to be funny? No, because she never was. Does anyone really miss a puppet show on the radio? I don't know what that's going on. Does anyone really miss Brent Seven Hatley's stories about his whore wife getting effed by strangers? I gotta tell you, I haven't listened to the Stern Show consistently in a while. The whole Brent, and I keep seeing the name Mehmet or something. I have no idea who those guys are. That whole thing just, I have no idea who those guys are. Never heard them speak. I don't know what they could possibly do for the show. What they do on this show. I said do. Um, I have no idea who they are. Let me know if they're good or if they're not good in the comments. I mean, what the F happened to this show? Sure, there's the occasional hilarious bit, but most of the time, it just effing sucks anymore. I get more entertainment from reading people ripping on the show on Reddit than the show itself. What do you think? Is there anything else you're missing during these breaks that I'm not thinking of? And after posting this, I thought of two other totally ridiculous things that have happened on the show lately that have been major turnoffs. All of the Peloton talk, paid ad. The hell is Peloton? And when he said Ilhan Omar is a model level hot. Seriously, Howard. Oh, let me agree. I mean, I hate I hate her socialist, American hating self with a passion. But that Ilhan Omar is kind of hot, though. I mean, let's keep it real. She is a good looking woman. But like this guy puts, I didn't mind the vacations as much when they still had other original content on 101 during the vacation. I mean, I know Jay Thomas and Riley are dead, but there are other shows they could do. The beginning of the end to me was when they got rid of the news department and turned 101 into just replays of stuff. I know, they got rid of the news and then they just did replays. And then this guy goes, back in the day when Howard was doing 4 days a week, you had new Bubba in his prime in the afternoon and Pharrell in the nighttime. Also, you had a specialty show at 7/6 Central. Mind you, Howard's show was good then, and I didn't mind at all when he was gone because of all the other content. Nowadays, I don't mind him being gone because it saves me the trouble of having to find a torrent. I used to listen to Jason Ellis when Howard was off, but then he started having issues and his show changed. I've heard it's good again though, so maybe I'll give that a try. I'm not seeing anyone talk about Jim and Sam. That's all I'm saying. But my personal thoughts, look, show is done. I mean, honestly, it probably died the day he did that Revolution 2013. And that's the day his staff behind the scenes ultimately turned on him because that video became relevant. Now, we didn't find out about that video even existing until years later through Stuttering John. But, and then months after that revelation came, then the video actually dropped. But that video is from 2013. And that is probably when the show ultimately died. It was kind of held together after Artie, kind of. But when he made the decision to go to become the interviewer and go for celebrity guests and get rid of Gilbert Godfrey and the Whack Pack and Wendy the Slow Adult, who for some reason now is my new co-host on my live stream. By the way, I only live stream on a backup channel, and Wendy won't leave me alone. Yeah, when he decided to go down that road, that's when the show had died. And then he didn't just go down the I'm going to be a great interviewer road, which he's not, by the way. He went down the PC road, and it all encapsulated itself. And thank God he got called out by not just me, but the Breakfast Club. When he went on The View, and Sunny Hostin asked him, when she said, the only thing I used to not like about your show was when you would use the N-word. And Howard Stern said, I've never used the N-word. And then the Breakfast Club immediately played the bit of him in blackface using the N-word. So I like the fact that they did call him out for that. Because, I mean, it's one thing to be ashamed of your past. It's another thing to try and erase it. Howard Stern is actively trying to erase his past. I mean, you guys see the same Stern channels on YouTube that I watch. There's a reason, though, they don't put Howard Stern in the title of those videos, though. Because they know they will get taken down. And, by the way, those videos will eventually be taken down. Because some idiot like Jason will eventually figure it out. But, I mean, from the Revolution 2013, I bet you most people would think it's not that. Is probably bringing in Marcy Turk. But, I mean, the decision, the thing that made this show crappy happened probably before Marcy Turk. She's probably a symptom of what was to come of the show just being terrible. Like I said, my hope is always that Stern would have ended up going back to terrestrial radio and then maybe having to have to compete with ratings and his ego. You'd be forced to do a good show. I used to say that like back in right after Artie left. And I was like, please just go back to terrestrial radio, but he didn't. And he signed another 5-year deal. The only question is, though, if he's going to stay on radio, how far does he actually do the show without Robin? Because I guarantee you that's coming up. You know, there's rumors that her cancer is back. She's, almost 70 at this point. How long is she really going to want to do this for? And would he do the show without her? Like, you could just chalk it up and say, why doesn't he just retire? He's got enough money, but, I mean, how do you turn down the money if Sirius is willing to offer it? That's another thing. They're offering the money because they know that their company will go down in drains. Because Sirius isn't as big as they like to tell people they are. They just get to live that illusion because they've got Howard Stern, who, by the way, nobody listens to, by the way. Nobody listens to Stern. Really. Jesus, I'm on the guy's Reddit, and his audience, the number one thread is he needs to go on a permanent vacation. Nobody listens to Stern anymore. No one talks about, hey, this happened on Stern anymore. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts in the comments. I mean, when you think the show died, all of that. and everything, but I agree that it is time for Howard Stern to go on a permanent vacation. So I agree with the Howard Stern Reddit and the user Bandit463 who posted this. And let me know your thoughts in the comments.